And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the former Lakeside champion. It's the Bullet, Stephen Bunting!
Stephen Bunting, he sings, he dances, he throws the odd dart occasionally as well. The Bullet, former Lakeside World Champion, and a man who is on the up in the PDC. Taking on Dizzy, Jamie Robinson, making his Euro Tour debut. Or sorry, he made his Euro Tour debut in Venray, lost in round 1. This is just his second Euro Tour event. Penultimate game of the first round here at the International Darts Open in Riesa in East Germany. Dan Dawson in the commentary box for this one alongside me, Rod Harrington.
Yes, thank you, Dan. And obviously, Stephen Bunting massively odds on average around 6 to 1, where Jamie Robinson's 4 to 1 against. But this young man, Jamie Robinson, he's not going to be scared of Stephen Bunting. He plays his own game and quite quick, so we're going to see a rapid pace from these two, which will suit both players. Of course, Stephen Bunting will be on his way to Tokyo early part of next week.
Yeah, he literally goes from here on Monday, flies back, I think he's going to Manchester, then turns straight back round and comes straight out. He is travelling for 31 hours.
Game on.
Because he'll be in the World Series event. That's the one in Tokyo. Coming up, we've already seen him in Dubai. Won by Michael Van Gerwen, of course.
95.
Yes, looking forward to Tokyo. First time that I've certainly been there. Oh, not a bad start. And Jamie Robinson throws a Mervyn King set of darts.
Oh, now then, we've got a game here.
Don't laugh at Jamie Robinson was after his head off when he sees Stephen Bunting do that.
100.
That's a good follow up though, from a 180 to follow it with a ton. Well, both players have followed up the 180 with a ton. Another one of those would help. Oh, it was a rush start. And it was a crucial miss because he's 3 darts away instead of perhaps 2, but now Bunting.
Oh.
Double 6.
120.
Right, Jamie Robinson needs 2 trebles for a shot at a double himself. Isn't going to get it, but that double 3 ain't easy.
82.
It certainly isn't. And the dart sticks up, you've got to attack it with the first dart, and that's exactly what he's done.
Stephen Bunting.
The problem is with that, Dan, you know, you get a little bit tentative on it, and you put the first one low, and then it's obviously going to cover up half the bed. So you attack it, and if you're going to bust it with the first dart.
60.
Just above the wire, those 2.
60.
You could see he moved across, just looking at slam into those 2 and guide it into the treble bed. He's just overshot it a little bit.
85.
Winner of this one faces the number 15 seed Jamie Caven in the second round. That'll be tomorrow. And then our final match of the night sees the 2 Welshmen, the World Cup of Darts partners, squaring off against each other. Jamie Lewis and Mark Webster. Winner of that will face Terry Jenkins.
Yes, the winner, as you said, takes on Jamie Caven, who's playing extremely well. He had 1 dart
100
at a double to beat Michael Van Gerwen 2 weeks ago in Venray.
That was it. That was in Munich, actually. 2 weeks ago, it was Terry Jenkins who had the dart to beat him.
You're right. I'm losing the plot here.
No, that's...
140.
There aren't many chances to beat Michael van Gerwen on the European Tour this year. They are lodged firmly in my memory. I think Michael van Gerwen just shrugs away. He probably couldn't tell you. He probably didn't care. Because at the end of the day, he's won £100,000 on the European Tour this year already.
I know, it's incredible.
Stephen Bunting means business tonight.
190.
And he's openly laughed at all the players that are not here. He's actually thanked them for not being here so we can nick more money.
Stephen, you require 74.
Well, as we said. Oh, look at this. 14 data. 15 will do.
58.
Missed opportunity.
Jamie requires
A
76.
big missed opportunity. Big 16 and now double top.
That's blocking a lot of bed, that first dart, I think. He was able to come around the side of it.
16.
Still couldn't find the bed. So double 8 for Stephen Bunting for 2-0 and a breaker throw. And there it is.
In the second leg, Stephen Bunting.
Stephen Bunting's now move out to an average of about 20 to 1 on. You can get 10 to 1 on average on Jamie Robinson. However, there are
100.
other markets, current leg markets, first leg markets, even what colour double you're going to go out on. Some of the bookmakers are doing. It's incredible
60.
the amount of markets that the bookies are doing nowadays.
They don't have many of those novelty bets on like what people will be wearing. Like the advert at Ascot, you can bet on what colour hat the Queen's going to wear.
Yes.
I can tell you now, Chizzy will be wearing yellow tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, guaranteed. Nailed on.
140.
Unless he's wearing a vest.
I don't think the vest looks as good as the yellow shirt.
Wow. You and I are very different people, Rod.
82.
82. Doesn't quite get him down to a finish, but Jamie Robinson needs 2 treble 20s to get to one himself. Can he get it?
100.
No, he can't. Big opportunity, obviously. I mean, Michael van Gerwen has laughed at players like Gary Anderson and A.D. Lewis and Phil Taylor who aren't here this weekend, so it's make my job easier. But I tell you what, it makes opportunities for players like Chizzy and Stephen Bunting.
It certainly
Real
does.
opportunities.
Yes, you're exactly right.
60. Stephen, you require.
And that's not to say that they wouldn't go through the field anyway. I mean, we've seen Stephen Bunting beat Phil Taylor in big tournaments on TV. Did it at the European Championships, of course. And that will do very, very nicely. 3-0 Stephen Bunting.
We'll flag Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Yes, I actually don't understand the big players. I know they say the calendar's quite full
100.
now, but missing these and attending tour events, I know you have to be in the rankings, otherwise you're going to be in the
81.
qualifiers. I appreciate that, and some of them don't feel like going in the qualifiers, but if you're not in that top 16, what do you want us to do? You can't keep
43.
giving wild cards to people, in a ranking system that is trying to be, transparent.
It's a meritocracy, isn't it? You earn your place in tournaments, and then from what I understand,
100.
There's no confirmation of this, but Phil Taylor will not be seeded for the next 2 European Tour events. Well, he's not at Dusseldorf, but
97.
the next 2, which will be Innsbruck in Austria, and then I believe Sindelfingen's the one after that. If he wants to go to those, he has to go to a qualifier. Now, I've heard whispers that he may well go through the qualifier.
134.
I think he will.
And if that's the case, good luck anybody who draws Phil Taylor.
Yeah, I mean, Phil
120.
Taylor isn't the sort of person who turns around and says, "Oh, I'm too big to go in qualifiers. I shouldn't have to." Like I have to mention 1 or 2 other people. No, he's not like that, Phil. And he is the older statesman. So if he ducks out of a tournament, I kind of go, do you know what? He's been around so long, he deserves a
100.
rest.
Jamie require 141.
Now then. Ooh.
105. Stephen,
Very
you
nice
require
setup, though.
86.
Stephen Bunting, 86, though, for another breaker throw and 4-0. Oh, well, that's 12.
Yeah.
Went for the treble 18 for double 10.
Well, I think he went for the treble 18 instead of the treble 14 because you already had a
46.
line and length there.
Jamie
It looked
requires
inviting just to pitch
36.
the second dart over the top of that first one. On his the dreaded switch on the 9s, and we've not seen it hit today. Well, I haven't.
40.
Yeah, bends the wire. Bends the wire. Now it's the double 10. And he gets it. And Jamie Robinson in all sorts of problems here against the Bullet.
Fifth leg, Stephen to throw first.
I tell you what, if the bookies were laying odds on that double 9 being missed, you'd back it all the time, wouldn't you? I don't think I've seen a double that's missed so much.
Like there's some sort of curse on it.
140.
Stephen Bunting not letting up. He is averaging in the high 90s at the moment. Best performance we've seen so far today has been Cristo Reyes. He averaged just over the 100. That was in his defeat of Dean Winstanley earlier on. Stephen Bunting is around about that mark now. There's 100.6 that Cristo Reyes hit.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with Dean Winstanley, that was the last thing he needed after trying to get his game back round and seeing a sports psychologist. And I spoke to him as I walked out and I said, you know, sometimes you've just got to say, you didn't turn up, but he certainly did. And, you know, that's about all you need to think about the game. You start overanalyzing some games and, you know, it isn't going to work.
100.
You're not a robot. So those games, you just bury.
Well, when you're playing elite level sport, you're going to run into people who can do that kind of thing against you. Jamie Robinson firing in a 180. That's his second of the match. But he is yet to get a leg on the board. Now he's going to start on the ball here, I would think. Treble 20. Needed it for double top. Stephen Bunting, 76. Now this is very, very gettable. He should at least get one dart at a double. It may be two.
And you've got to kind of fancy that he's going to take this out because he's on a right run at the moment.
Ooh, well, not to be.
Jamie requires 60.
That's covered up half the bed, but he still finds the double top and justifiably puts his first leg on the board.
Leg, Jamie to throw first.
He's a happy-go-lucky sort of guy, Jamie Robinson. Always got a big smile on his face, like a chipmunk smile, isn't it?
Excellent.
192.
Nice kid, originates from Colchester. I think he still lives there, but plays darts elsewhere.
Now then.
Oh, come on, Jamie, fill it up.
Oh, 140.
Yes, there's a big smile there going, absolute rubbish. You got a bit excited there. We were getting excited at all, Jamie.
Well, that would have been a very happy chipmunk. Had
100.
Gone in and been on the 9 darter. But as it is, he's putting himself in a very good position to consolidate that breaker throw and make it 4-2. Now, we
85.
did, of course, see Jihan Arthur miss darts for a 5-1 lead in his match earlier on. Ended up going down 6-4 to Johnny Clayton. Comebacks can happen.
60.
They certainly can. I mean,
96.
Jan just absolutely lost it, didn't he?
Oh,
unbelievable.
Confusing times.
56.
Well, certainly this is a great leg from Jamie Robinson after 12 darts wanting a double. And sometimes when you're 4-0 down, it's so easy to roll over, do you know, and go, I can't do it. But he's not done that. You know, as we said, he plays the dartboard, not the player. He ain't scared of anybody.
Well,
14 darter to follow the 15 darter from the previous leg, and Jamie Robinson has worked his way back into this, 2 consecutive legs. And if Stephen Bunting can't close this one out, this game has a very different complexion.
We talked about the World Series earlier on, and
60.
Stephen Bunting played Adrian Lewis in the very first match in Dubai.
Great game, that.
It set the tournament up. It was a cracker.
I mean, I know Stephen throws his darts with force, but they're only 12 grams, those darts. That's the same as a £2 coin. So playing it outside in a bit of a breeze and still averaging, I think he averaged 100 and, 101, 102, something like that.
He did, yeah. It was a cracker match. It really was. And then Lewis, you know, had Van Goghing up against the ropes.
Yep.
All 3 matches, Lewis Van Guren, didn't lead until the 17th leg as Jamie Robinson fires in another maximum.
Well, that's 3 consecutive legs that Jamie Robinson has fired in a maximum. It may be not quite enough in this leg. Well, that certainly swings it back in Stephen Bunting's favour.
100.
Another treble or 2 here, and things get a little bit edgy for Bunting. Well, it's 100, so he's right there with him. Bullseye for Bunting. That leaves 17 for tops.
Wow, now this can put a different slant on this game. If he takes out the 78, it's a breaker throw. He'll come back to throw first. Now he wants double top. Hit it before. Can he hit it again?
58.
Just on the low side.
Steven, you require
How
20.
important was that missed double top for Jamie Robinson?
Well, that might be the difference just there. That little passage of play, that might be the difference between victory and defeat.
Well, the last 3 legs, I mean, Jamie's scored really well. And he's given himself the opportunity, but it was only the 1 dart.
60.
However, you know, against a lot of the top boys, that's all you're going to get is that 1 dart.
Yeah, certainly. These guys have met in the past. I mean, obviously, they're both former BDO players. And Jamie does know what it's like to beat Stephen. But, you know, their meetings are, the most recent one was 2012, so it's not really, you can read a great deal into. But they were in significant tournaments. You know, they played in the World Masters. That went to Robinson. He lost the final of the England Classic to Bunting, so they will be ones that stick in the mind. But you have to say that over the last few years, Bunting has matured, obviously winning the Lakeside, winning the World Masters, then making the switch to the PDC, winning his 2nd tournament in the PDC, and storming up the rankings as he did. Made the quarterfinals of the World Championship, of course.
Yes, I totally agree in a few aspects. What you said of, you know, 2 or 3 years ago has no relevance on this match here. If it was
60.
last week, then yes, or the week before. But Stephen has improved an awful lot. And Jamie's still new to the PDC.
85.
Beat Andy Hamilton in qualifying for it.
Yeah, and Andy's another one who's gone off the boil, hasn't he?
100.
Yeah, it was Andy Hamilton and Daniel Day beaten in qualifying for Jamie Robinson. Stephen Bunting beat Terry Temple and Michael Barnard.
70. Steven, you require 141.
Well, this would be some way to win it. It's on.
89. Jamie, you require 141.
Well, it's the same shot for Jamie Robinson. And it's not going, so Stephen Bunting should get 2 match darts.
85.
12
Steven,
for
you
double
require
top, or
52.
20 for double 16. It's the 16s route he's going. Double 8, just moving across to get out of the way of that 2nd dart. And he finds the little red bit. And Stephen Bunting, he started off like an absolute train. Jamie Robinson came back at him. He hit 180s in 3 consecutive legs, but the bullet has got the job done. A 6-2 victory. He will face Jamie Caven in the next round tomorrow, and that game is going to be fast and furious and potentially very high quality. The rhythm those two play at, it could bring the best out of each other. The bullet